Anthropic just released Claude 4.7 with a 1 million token context window, and OpenAI dropped GPT-5 Pro at the same time, both within 72 hours of each other. And I've been testing them head-to-head for the last 6 days on real production work. One of them is now objectively the best coding model on the planet. The other one is the best long-context reasoning model on the planet. They are not the same model. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which one to use for which job, the specific prompt formats that make each shine, and the 3 benchmarks where one of them is suddenly cheaper by a factor of 4. So what's up? I'm Andre. I run the channel where we test AI tools on actual work, not curated demos. Quick context. I've spent 42 hours with these 2 models since launch. Ran them on 17 real projects for my own client work and tracked dollar cost, token count, latency, and final output quality on every run. The conclusion surprised me. Let's get into it. Test 1. Single file refactor of a 600-line Python service. This is the bread and butter of daily coding. GPT-5 Pro returned a working refactor in 14 seconds, cost 14 cents, broke the existing tests, took me 8 minutes of cleanup. Claude 4.7 returned a working refactor in 27 seconds, cost 21 cents, passed every existing test on the first run, needed 0 cleanup. Net time including cleanup. Claude 4.7 was 4 times faster end-to-end. This is the test where Claude has pulled away dramatically. Okay, so test 2. Multi-file architecture decision. I gave both models the same prompt. Cool. Here's my existing code base. Recommend a migration path from REST to GraphQL with the lowest blast radius. End quote. Same context, same prompt, same model temperature. Claude 4.7 walked through 6 options, ranked them by risk and reversibility. Recommended the second one with 5 sentences of justification. GPT-5 Pro recommended the most aggressive option, 3 sentences of justification, and missed that 2 of my services were already partially migrated. This is where Claude's longer context window paid off. It read the entire codebase and noticed the partial migration. GPT-5 Pro skimmed and missed it. Look, test 3 is where the story flips. Long context summarization. I dropped in a 407-page legal contract, about 600,000 tokens, and asked both models to extract every indemnification clause and rank them by counterparty risk. GPT-5 Pro returned the answer in 89 seconds, found 17 clauses, ranked them, cost $3.12. Claude 4.7 returned the answer in 144 seconds, found 19 clauses, ranked them, cost $2.47. Both got every clause GPT-5 found. Claude found 2 additional clauses that GPT-5 missed entirely. For pure long context recall, Claude is now ahead. But here's where it gets uncomfortable for the Anthropic team. Test 4. Creative writing. I asked both to write a 500-word opening to a science fiction novel about a generation ship that arrives at a destination the colonists no longer want to settle. GPT-5 Pro's draft was, and I'm being honest, measurably better. More specific imagery, fewer cliché phrases, a stronger opening sentence. I ran it past 2 writers I know. Both of them picked the GPT-5 draft 6 out of 8 times. So if creative writing is your work, you have a clear winner on the OpenAI side right now. Test 5 is the one that ends the question of which to buy. Cost per task. Average dollar cost across all 17 production jobs. Claude 4.7 came in at $1.18 per completed task. GPT-5 Pro came in at $4.60 per completed task. Same prompts, same context, same final quality threshold. The price gap is 4-to-1 in Claude's favor on the workloads I actually run. If you're running 100 coding tasks a day, that's $340 a day difference. $10,000 a month. Look, what's the most expensive single AI prompt you've ever run? And was the output worth it? Drop the cost and what you got in the comments. I'll pick the wildest 5 and roast them gently in next week's video. Here are the 3 settings most people get wrong on Claude 4.7. Setting 1. Turn on extended thinking. The new model has a thinking mode that adds about 8 seconds and roughly doubles output quality on complex tasks. Most people use the default no thinking setting because they got habituated to fast responses on Claude 3. 8 seconds for double quality is the trade I'd make every single time. Setting 2. Use the system prompt to specify your seniority. Claude 4.7 calibrates response complexity based on declared expertise. Tell it you're a senior engineer and the output gets denser, fewer hand-holding caveats. More code, less explanation. Setting 3. Use the new artifact mode for any document longer than 2 pages. It opens a side-by-side editor, lets you iterate without losing context, and the export is clean markdown, not the choppy code block format the old chat used to produce. Now I want to be honest about the downside of Claude 4.7. The 1 million token context is real, but the model's attention degrades after about 600,000 tokens. Past that, accuracy drops 6 to 9% on retrieval tasks. So in practice, treat the usable context as 600K, not 1 million. The marketing number and the working number are different. This is a no-answer humility moment. Anthropic hasn't published the degradation curve, and I'm working off my own benchmarks. Your mileage may vary depending on what you're doing. Here's the simple decision tree. If your job is coding or any task with verifiable correctness, use Claude 4.7. If your job is creative writing or open-ended generation, use GPT-5 Pro. If your job is long document analysis under 600K tokens, use Claude. Above 600K, split into chunks and use Claude on each chunk. If you have to pick one subscription for the next 3 months and your work is mostly engineering, Claude 4.7 every time. If your work is mostly content, GPT-5 Pro with a Claude side seat for coding. Look, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm dropping the exact 8 Claude 4.7 prompts I use daily, including the agentic workflow setup that lets it work for 45 minutes unattended and the orchestration prompt that runs 3 specialized sub-agents in parallel. Those workflows are what cut my average task time by 60%. See you there.